tale with a twist. A tree in chains.
Alton itself obviously is a very small village, and it was owned and run by the 14th, 15th, 16th Earl. And basically, if you lived in the village and you worked on the estate, now some people actually lived on the estate, the gamekeepers, people who looked after the horses and all that sort of thing. And actually part of my family lived on the estate for very nearly over 150 years. And you've got to bear in mind, he owned literally everything for miles around. So he owned mines in Cheadle, he owned the mines and the canals in Cornlow locally. But he would come this way, and then he would be on his estate, probably 6 miles away. When he first hit his estate, and we mentioned earlier about the flag tower, and that was the old idea of building that in about 1810, and it took 10 years to build the flag tower, but the whole point of it was that you could actually see the flag tower from anywhere. It's snobbish. We're about, at the moment, we're about 2 miles away from Alton Towers, and as we go through this way now, you'll actually see where the chained oak is. He was extremely wealthy, I mean, extremely religious. But I think if you relate how religious he was to the axe, to the curse that we talk about later on, you can understand why he took it so damn seriously. I mean, obviously, you've got the chained oak, you've got proof that something went drastically wrong at the end of the day. You would not chain a tree that size up if something wasn't, wrong. Was it a gypsy or was it a witch? Was it a witch or was it an old woman? The legend itself, as I say, has been in the village for hundreds of years. I wouldn't be very old when I first heard about the legend, and as a child and everything else, it's a ghost story. It's the thing that they've got it wrong. It doesn't exist. And then basically, what would you be, sort of 12, 13, when we actually saw the tree, and it comes to an horrendous shock to actually see that the damn thing exists, and it's spooky. Here we are. This is it. I mean, this is a tree that's chained up and still here to this day. You won't get many locals climbing the steps. You certainly won't get many locals, coming down here after dusk and going anywhere near that tree. This is where they would have stopped. This is exactly where, it would have all happened. This is where the witch or the gypsy, this is, what would have made the curse. This is the evidence behind us. You can see the tree right behind us, all chained up. It's been chained up for over 180 years. If they open the vault, the meddling and things they don't understand. We should leave the vault alone.
A house falling.
To restore the suspended stone floor, which had been quite badly damaged through neglect largely, they had to take up a number of stone slabs which were broken so that we could repair them or replace them. And in so doing, they found what looked like some, I suppose you'd call them round, flat tin biscuit tins. They put them to one side, just being builders, possibly with a view to opening them up during their break, but we still had the archaeologists on site, and they recognised them, or they thought they recognised what they may be, so they relieved them, sent them along to a laboratory where they were opened under laboratory conditions, and they found undeveloped Victorian film, and it was very, very carefully treated and developed, and hey presto, we have the film of the oak tree being chained, which up until that time to many of us was little more than just a legend, but there was the evidence. A vault sealed for 2 centuries. We started restoration work in the towers, and it was during that period that a number of old artefacts were found, including an old bookcase. That was moved using very traditional archaeological methods, but what we found behind was in fact clearly an archway which had been bricked up. Why was it there? Because all of our research, as these surveys show, there was nothing behind there. There never was anything behind there. So you just looked at it and you could see there's an arch, there's a head, there's the jamb, but it had been bricked up. So the archaeologists very, very carefully, literally with brushes and chisels and with trowels, very carefully raked out the mortar, dismantled all of the brickwork and masonry after it had been numbered and photographed, put to one side. We were getting a feel, after we moved the first few bricks, we knew there was something behind there that we weren't expecting. And then we found the tunnel behind it. It doesn't make sense in that the architect who designed this would have designed this in a linear way. There should be a star shape. There's never been an entrance to another linear section. There has never been any evidence from the outside. There have been a number of staff who, whether they're from my building team, who have felt cold drafts, who felt moisture, condensation on their hands, equipment malfunctioning.
Welcome to the magnificent ancestral home of the Earls of Shrewsbury. Of all the Earls, it is the wealthy and powerful 15th Earl, Charles Talbot, who has perhaps the strangest tale to tell. Indeed, it was our investigations of his story that led us to a remarkable chain of discoveries, changing a routine restoration project into something much more strange and compelling. The unearthing and unraveling of a quite remarkable local legend. Please, would you now move through to witness the story of Hex, the legend of the towers. It was on a cold autumn night in 1821, when the thunder of hooves signalled the return of the wealthy 15th Earl of Shrewsbury back to his home, Alton Towers. As the journey neared its end, a mysterious figure suddenly appeared in the road. The Earl impatiently demanded of the driver why the carriage had stopped. With palm outstretched, an old woman pleaded with the Earl for the charity of a coin. The Earl cruelly dismissed her and instructed his driver to head back to the towers. Scorned, the old woman screamed a curse. For every branch of the old oak tree that fell, a member of the Earl's family would die. Ferocious storm raged, and with one mighty bolt of lightning severed a single branch from the old oak tree. And true to the old woman's prophecy, a member of the Earl's family suddenly and mysteriously died. This tragedy, the arrogant Earl ordered his servants that every remaining branch of the oak tree be chained up in an attempt to prevent further misfortune. But the story didn't end there. Legend has it that the Earl became so obsessed with the fallen branch that he dragged it from the woods to the towers and sealed it in a secret vault. There he became locked into a furious battle of science versus the supernatural, conducting bizarre experiments in a desperate attempt to finally banish the evil power of the curse forever. For nearly 200 years, the entrance or even existence of the Earl's Vault has remained a complete mystery, until recent restorations revealed a mysterious passageway hidden behind an ancient bookcase. It was this passageway which unearthed a secret stranger than anyone could have imagined. The sealed vault, and within, the legendary fallen branch of Self. A vault sealed for 2 centuries. Due to some unusual disturbance presently being registered inside the vault, we would ask that you remain where you are momentarily. Thank you. Please now proceed to the vault. Please move right along each row and take your seats. We need 4 people in each bay. Children must sit on the bench. Place all bags under the seats and keep your arms out of the way as the handrails lower and lock tightly. Please remain seated at all times and refrain from eating, drinking, smoking, and please, no photography. Thank you. Attention, the handrails are about to be lowered. Please raise your arms up so the bars may close tightly. And so, the legendary Fallen Branch, the focus of the Earl's obsession that has lain undisturbed for 200 years, chained in this vault. leave the vault as quickly as possible, ensuring you take all your possessions with you. Thank you.